She believed she could, and so she did. These might be just very simple words for you, but trust me, in a world where we're often judged and doubted, this girl dared to nurture belief in herself, and the world could not help but notice. And yes, we are talking about a very special guest for today's episode. From a tomboy in school to reaching great heights in the world of social media, it has been a roller coaster ride for her. She has seen the highs, she's seen the lows, and a lot more experiences in between. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege to welcome the remarkable Riya Malhotra to this very special episode of the Requill podcast series. Hello Riya, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. We are just so excited to have you here today. I've made a whole list of questions for you.
Please bring it on. And thank you for such a warm welcome. I'm
pleasure.
very excited to have this podcast.
My pleasure. So, are you ready? Nervous?
Very much. Very much.
It's okay. I know you're going to be just fine. Chalo, let's start.
Let's start.
Okay, now Riya, I know you've heard this question like a zillion times now, but I just want to know, what was Riya before being an influencer? What was that beginning? Who motivated you? And how did you start? I want to know.
So, going back more than a decade ago, like you said in the introduction, I was a tomboy. So, yes, that's right. I actually was a tomboy. So, when I was in my 10th standard, I was very much a tomboy. I did not like मुझे ज़्यादा, like you would say, I would not like to dress up I was very tomboy. I would wear my brother's t-shirts. I would take my dad's shirts and t-shirts and their cargo pants and stuff like that. So that was my dressing sense back then. And then, we have this farewell and freshers in our college and in our schools. So my friends really pushed me for that, and I went ahead and it went great. I think that was one time when my confidence really boosted because I was on the stage, facing so many people. And that was the first time I felt like, okay, this is not bad. This is great. Not as bad as I thought, but yes, that was a great start. So in +1 and +2 in my high school, my friends and my family, especially my mom, they pushed me so much. They were like, you can always give this a try. And then slowly and gradually, once I graduated out of my high school, I felt this keen interest and some sort of, fascination towards styling my own self, because I had never styled myself for the longest period of time. So I was like, let's give this a try. And again, you have your freshers. So there was this modeling opportunity that I had to go through for the Miss MCM. And I went forward with it, and again, that gave me a really nice confidence boost. And after that, I got really positive attention from my friends, my family, and from all my friends in my college. So that's when I thought, okay, maybe I can go forward with styling. So that's when I used to dress up in different clothes, very different clothes for a person like me who's an introvert. So I started styling, and slowly and gradually. So back then, the influencer market, as you know, was not very, big and stuff like that, especially in Chandigarh.
Right.
So at that time, I had no clue that I wanted to be an influencer. I just knew one thing. I want to love my life. I just want to enjoy my life. I want to have fun. That's it. That was the goal. So that's how we started. And then slowly and gradually, I started making like videos and pictures. I started taking pictures at different spots, kept my profile very aesthetic as it is. And that's when I started receiving a lot of invites, PR packages, collaborations from, brands around the city. Because at that time, there were not many people who were doing that. So that kind of gave me a plus, like that was like a bonus for me. So after that, I kind of dropped it. You won't believe I actually dropped it.
Why would you?
Because I just felt, I don't know, but I just felt like, okay, it's time to be serious in life. Because at that time, influencing was not as big. So, our parents and everything, you have this pressure of, being successful. What does success really matter to me? And at that time, I feel like success was me to just be like, settled in terms of like monetary terms, getting a job, getting a nice, all of that. So
typical Indian mentality, na?
exactly,
Doctor, engineer, ban
society.
jao.
Exactly. So I fell into the trap,
Yeah.
and that's when I stopped it. But that was my biggest mistake.
Yes.
And after that, after leaving it, you know, you have this thing when you leave something or when something goes out of your life, you actually realize the real importance of that. So that happened with me.
Okay.
And I realized that I don't want to quit it. After 2 years, I came back. I started slow. And after 2 years, I also, so right after I graduated from MCM, I took a 1 year break. I was going through all of this. Should I not? All of that, because, you know, it's a different
Yeah.
field. And amidst that, I think, again, my mom really pushed me. She said that you should do something in fashion maybe. And I was like, okay, like, I don't know. I just went with it. I was like, no more thinking. I've already wasted 1 year of my life. I'll just go ahead with it. So I started fashion designing in Chandigarh, and I did a 1 year course from INIFD Sector 9.
Okay.
And then after that, that really opened my eyes. That really opened my eyes in terms of what fashion could bring to me. You know, the scope, the kind of fields. Fashion is so vast. It is so vast. There's fashion styling. You can play with absolutely anything. Styling, creators, digital and prints. You know, there's so much. So after that, I realized that okay, after looking at all the different fields, I chose to go into brand management because I honestly I just dreamt of it. I just wanted to open a label of my own. It was not something very serious, but I just went with it again. I just listened to my heart and I was like, no more thinking. I used to overthink a lot. And that's the reason why all of my time, wasted.
Yeah.
But then I think that was a good thing because I was overthinking so much. I think after a long period of time, I realized that it was a waste of time. Like I could have just saved my time and just went with it. So hence I joined. So I started with my postgraduate degree in luxury brand management. I did it from Bombay. And then over there, also it was a plus point because it was in Bombay. So I had to go out from the city to explore all the, possible options kept in front of me. And I think that was one of the best steps I ever took in my life. Honestly, that was the best step because that gave me so much exposure, so many cultures, so many different people I met from different backgrounds. There are engineers in my course. There are like doctors in my course. There are people from like Italy and all of that. So I met many people and that kind of really broadened my horizon. And then I learned about brand management, and you won't believe. So once I completed, it was a 1 year course. Okay. Then last May, what happened? So they used to give us a lot of assignments, and my college apparently is very, very strict towards assignments. Very strict. They won't let you not finish this assignment. That was again a plus point. Because of that, we had an assignment. I would say in the 8th month of my college. So that said that you have to think of a business plan. So I was like, okay, what's the possible business plan, or what do I think of my life? If I talk to my higher self, what do I actually envision who Riya Malhotra is? So that's when I thought, okay, styling, label, and what sorts of fills the gap. So I kind of merged it, and at that time and even now, right now, the percentage of working women in India is increasing so much, and it's so good to see. And I was like, there's not one label that I feel like resonates to me, like who provides, power dressing and the kind of clothing that women should actually wear, the kind of colors, the kind of, concept. So I chose that I'm going to do it. And that this was just a project. This was not real life.
We will talk about it in detail. I have that question ready.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So now, how does Riya the influencer manage to get so much attraction? You have almost 70,000 followers on Instagram. That's a big deal. So how do you manage? What are your strategies? If you could just let us know.
I would say the first strategy is posting who you really are. Be your authentic self. Don't care what the world thinks. You are here to post your content.
Yeah.
You are here to post, say, and do whatever you feel like. That's the reason why I feel like people are connecting to you, because you are you. If you're gonna copy, or if you're gonna think in the back of your mind that, okay, I saw this is not looking nice, my mom said like this and this person said this might not be nice, don't. Secondly, don't overthink. Just go ahead, just post it, and just let things be. Just definitely, I would say you should have a little bit of planning in terms of what you want to be. Pick a niche, whether it's fashion, whether it's beauty, whether it's something else. Follow that niche, and then you have to basically kind of research what that niche is doing in the society and how you can create your own, create and give your own essence to that niche, your own style, your own vision to that niche. So I think that's something you can start with.
You do you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I was just going to ask you your personal mantra, but I think you just told me.
Exactly.
Okay, so now Riya, the businesswoman.
Okay.
Talking about success, like I know that Sister Snatched, first of all, that's a brilliant, brilliant name. I just really want to know what was the inspiration behind it, and how do you manage being a businesswoman?
So it's honestly multitasking, but
Exactly.
multitasking in stilettos. So it's fun,
Fashionable.
it's fashionable, it's my joy, it's my therapy, and I love doing what I want. And coming back to the question, it's very difficult. Honestly, sometimes it gets to you, micromanaging all the work. So, for example, a day in my life includes shooting, and then I have to go back, I have to see my label, and then there are calls, then there are clients, then there are the clients that I have from social media, then the clients that I have from my label. So it's very difficult. But as long as you're enjoying, as long as you know that this is what you wanted to be 10 years ago, it's all sorted.
Just a personal question.
Yeah.
Which side do you like more? Riya the influencer or Riya the businesswoman?
So that's a difficult question. See, honestly, I would not pick sides, because it's like, genuinely, it's like choosing between your mom and dad.
Yeah.
Who would you love? Like, it's not.
Both.
For me, it's like my business gives me the freedom to do what I want to do. For example, travel, meet new people, and it gives me the, basically freedom. It gives me all the freedom that I really, really deserve, and I give it to myself. But influencing, it gives me, it's like therapy.
Yeah.
I am in my room, I create content, and it gives me such a confidence boost.
Yeah.
Also, I'm reaching out again to so many people, so many brands I'm working with. It just adds up to my personality. So I think both. It's like कार में 4 पहिए होते हैं. आप एक को हटा दोगे तो वो कार ठीक से नहीं चलेगी. So it's like that. Everything goes one in one.
Yeah. I think it's about finding that balance.
Right.
And I just, I want to commend you on that.
Thank you.
It's just so commendable to see a woman balancing all of that at such a young age. Like,
thank you so
wow,
much.
hats off to you.
Thank you so much.
Give me some tips off the camera.
Oh yes, I would love to.
Okay, so now you said that your mom has been your, back support like all the time. So I really want to know, how did she support you? And you just said that your friends were also there. So how those people have influenced your journey, the Riya Malhotra we all know?
So my mom, since the day I was born, she was always on to me. She was like, no, you have to get up. No, you have to. You won't believe. She used to see newspapers and she used to look for things. For example, pageants and stuff like that. All those contests that used to come before. Now it's social media, but pehle newspapers mein aata tha sab kuch. So she literally used to see that, even though I didn't want it. Imagine. That was the kind of drive she had, that no, you have to. She knew what I really wanted to do, and she was after me. So I think that really, really pushed me. And in terms of my friends, and I'm so grateful for the kind of friends I've made. My choice in friends is very fine and nice, that they always support me and they always give me, they're also like my critics. So if I do something wrong, it won't be negative. It will be like, Riya, what? Don't post this. Don't, this is not nice. Okay, I'm like, okay, thank you so much. I think overall, I'm just grateful for my mom and my family, and my dad and my brother as well. So in total, I would say that really, really, support from your loved ones, it can change the whole game.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Doesn't it get to your head sometimes, the success and the fame and the social media, the charm it gives to you? Doesn't it get to your head?
Can you tell me what that means? Because I have never thought of it in that way. Like, so for me, the definition of success might be different. For somebody else, it might be different. For me, success is not my Instagram. It's not the numbers. It's not the followers. It's literally not even the money. For me, success is today I have to be happy. I have to do things that boost my confidence. And then when I can go home, I can meet my family, I can greet my parents, and I can, give that energy back to them.
Yeah.
So finding that balance between the personal and professional life, I think that's what I aim for. I don't aim for the number of brand collaborations I'm getting. I don't aim like talking to people. If you don't know me, but I would like to tell this, but I'm an introvert.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't generally open up to people that quickly, but I've also found the perfect balance of how to keep that in proportion.
That also I need to learn from you, Ria. I have a whole list now.
Oh my god.
Okay. So now I think I just spoke about it that, when you have the spotlight on yourself, you also get a lot of share of challenges, like different sort of challenges, especially for women in the industry. So how do you handle criticism, especially on social media? Like everybody has everything to say about someone, even if they don't know you, they'll judge you. Like
That's
they've known you
true.
for so many years. So how do you handle that criticism?
I don't handle it. I just don't handle it. See, listen, if somebody has to say something negative, you hear it, okay? If they're constantly telling it to you, you don't need to hear it. You can just see. Now, what I do is if I know that the criticism coming from the person is right, my heart will tell it to me, okay, yes, this is something I really need to work on. But my heart tells me that, this criticism is not right for me. So that's when I separate myself from that conversation and I kind of back out from that conversation and I look onto the next positive thing going on in my life. So it's basically, just focus on the good. Like you don't need to, so there are two types of criticism. Again, positive and one is negative.
Right.
You will always know for the positive, negative doesn't have to come. So I think it's just, following your gut intuition at the end of the day. And also really, you really need to focus what you have in life. It's the key to everything. Just be grateful for everything. And I think the negative can just, just go.
Nice, brilliant. So I think, Ria, that your journey is truly inspiring. I've said
so
it a lot
much.
of times now.
No,
and
that's really sweet of you.
It's just actually, behind the Instagram filter, we don't know who that person is. But when we get to know you, so that is when we know, okay, she's so smart.
This is who she really is.
Like, I would look at your Instagram, I would not say that you're an introvert. So that is something I get to know only when I meet you. So thank you for coming and telling me that.
My pleasure.
So I think any messages just you have to share with the audience, like who might be looking up to you for content creation, for business, anything. What's your message?
I think for the aspiring influencers, I would only say be open to new ideas. Don't close yourself, because I was in a position long time back when I was not very open to new ideas because I had some certain kind of vision in my mind. So I was very kind of a little stubborn, I would say, into moving forward in that vision. So always be open. Always be open to talking to people. Always be open to collaborations. Always be, you really have to push yourself to get out there. If you're going to sit at home and think and you're never actually doing it, there's no point of it. Only experience, only going out, only doing the wrong things can correct you. So, for example, if I want to make a conversation with you here today, I had to come up, I was nervous. I won't say I was not nervous. I was very nervous, but then I thought it to myself, what if it goes right? What if it actually is something that I really need? And I think after all the conversations we're doing and we've had, I'm very grateful that I had this conversation with you.
So are we, trust me, so are we. Like, that has been so inspiring to get to know you. The real Ria Malhotra.
Thank you so much.
And also, I saw your picture, like, Lakme Fashion Week, girl, you were just so amazing.
Thank you. Thank
Like,
you.
it is like looking a celebrity. And like, oh my god, I'm so proud of you. Even though
That
I
is-
didn't know you.
Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you, and that was an achievement, I
Yeah.
would say. And going out again, like I was all alone there.
Yeah.
From Chandigarh, I don't think anyone came, and I was only one at that time. So I had to go out alone. I had to stand there in my 6 inches heel, 6 inches heel,
Yeah.
climbing up the stairs.
You know.
I took an Uber to Lakme Fashion Week. Let me just be very clear. So I took an Uber and I was like, okay, you got this. And once I reached, I don't know, for some reason, all my nervousness was gone.
Yeah.
I felt like I own it. And I was walking, I met people, I took content, I had fun, and I came back. It was one of the best days of my life.
Yeah, it should be. It
Yeah.
should be. And you should really be proud of yourself of how far you've come. And I
am.
know 5 years down the line, if I would be interviewing you again, I would not even need an introduction.
Oh
People
my
would
God.
just know.
That.
Riya Malhotra, yeah, I know that person.
Thank you
So
so much.
thank you so much for having this conversation with us. Like,
It's my
it has been a pleasure for us. Thank you.
My pleasure.